child's parent and responsible adult.
The school rules. We make them. We're meeting here twice a week. Propose new rules. Everybody votes, and if enough people agree, the rule is made law. He thought the kids should only go to lessons if they wanted to.
So, I don't have to go to lessons?
You don't have to do anything you don't want to. That's the whole point of Summerhill.
It's an invasion! There's hundreds of them!
Who are they? Office for Standards and Education.
Even if Summerhill might not feel like a school, it is registered as one, and as such, has to meet certain minimum standards. Mrs. Redhead, we will need the attendance roll for lessons.
We haven't got one.
Leonard's top tip for the new guys. Playing is the most important thing you will do here at Summerhill. Make time for it.
No, no, and no. I don't want to sign up to any lessons.
Didn't you just say you weren't interested?
No.
Okay. Bye for now, then.
See you later.
Now, has anybody got any questions? Maddie?
How much are we allowed to sign up for?
Well, as much as you like, really. As many as you think you'll be happy with.
All my subjects are here. They even do Japanese.
Will you come back to lessons?
Probably.
Probably.
You have an approximate time scale for probably?
A couple of weeks in most cases. Sometimes it's months before the boredom and curiosity factors set in. Could be years.
Years? Children don't have years.
Exactly why A.S. Neill thought childhood was so precious.
Well, you may be crashing into something. Yeah, so very
Thought you wanted to be mates.
I do.
You grasped me off.
Well, you stole the money.
This is a special meeting to sort out what happened with Ryan.
It wasn't a fight. Peter never lifted a finger. Ryan just kept kicking him.
Len?
I can't remember anything like this. Well, perhaps once. I proposed Ryan sent home for a week.
I don't think that's long enough. He's a pain.
Sent him home for the rest of the term.
It is getting serious, but I say bullies list for 3 days is enough.
If he has to stay here and live with people who are fed up with him, he'll get the point quicker.
Yes?
He went downtown on his own too, and house kids aren't allowed to do that.
Yeah, he should be gated for that.
But he doesn't know all the rules.
He can read the rule book.
Anybody else got anything to say?
I know I got up people's noses when I started here. All right, I didn't hit anyone, but broke whatever I could get my hands on and get angry. I was angry back then, and Ryan's angry now. He's got stuff going on in his life, and maybe he'll talk to someone about it, but he won't if we just chuck him out. I propose that Ryan gets a strong warning for hitting me, and is gated for a week for going out of school on his own.
Poor little thing. I'm not sure there's much we can do to help it, I'm afraid. Why? What's wrong with him? I think it's the runt of the litter. The weakest and most helpless. The mother often abandons them and leaves them to die, I'm afraid. We should probably just leave it and let nature take its course. I'm not leaving him here to die. Shaking.
It's probably cold as well as starving.
That's perfect for dissection practice. Thanks, Ryan.
Cut it out.
Try these droppers.
Thanks. You hold him, and I'll feed him.
So, Ned, how do you know that the boiled sweet contains sucrose?
Because it didn't react with Benedict's solution. It would have if I'd boiled it with dilute hydrochloric acid and then neutralised it with sodium hydrogen carbonate.
Do you know why it doesn't give a reaction?
Because the reactive bits on 2 glucose molecules have been joined together to make sucrose, and sucrose isn't a reducing sugar.
Are you hoping for university?
No, just some GCSEs for now.
GCSEs? But he's working at A-level standard.
Ned only started coming to lessons last year.
That's impossible, surely.
When children decide they want to learn, they go like rockets.
Are the children getting a proper education?
It depends on what you mean by proper education.
One that generally includes going to lessons.
There's one 14-year-old who's attained A-level standards in the sciences. And judging by those photographs, he's not the only academic high flyer.
Children who are inclined to learn are one thing. But what about the rest of them? They're allowed to fall behind. This is a failing school, Myrtle.
But what about the good things? I've written lots on citizenship, anti-bullying, inclusiveness.
Our job isn't to inspect children's democracies.
And if we don't accept them?
6 months. That's the point at which we'd start proceedings to close the school.
Summerhill teaches children how to manage themselves, to manage their minds, their bodies, their relationships, their emotions. We give them an owner's manual for life.
I'm sorry, but we just can't measure that.
Hello, I'm Mark. I'm a solicitor, a specialist in human rights. We could take the government to court. You would need to raise at least £100,000.
Well, we could negotiate, you know, with the government, couldn't we?
No, we've got to stay true to who we are.
Yeah. We are writing to you because we are fighting our deadliest battle yet against an invisible but fearsome enemy.
If the enemy destroys us, our way of life will be gone forever.
We need your help to keep Summerhill open, so we can stay here. And other kids can come here in the future.
Post is here!
Here's a cheque for £9,000 from A.S. Neill Society in Japan.
And here's £10 from a retired teacher in Devon that said reading Neill's books changed her life.
Whoa, 1 second. We've got enough to mount a proper legal challenge. We've done it!
Summerhill, the controversial school founded by A.S. Neill, takes its fight to the High Court today.
Steve, I need some help here. What's
That is Jeffrey Robertson. Only one of the best QCs money can buy.
The root of the problem is non-attendance at lessons. Now, this is because Summerhill does not adhere to the national curriculum. Oh, no. They have their own.
Luckily for us, A.S. Neill understood children. Indeed, he understood them so well, he changed the way people thought about education forever. Neill didn't believe in forcing children to sit in classrooms they didn't want to be in, taking exams. He wanted them to grow up with a sense of emotional well-being. Oh, yes. He gave them a voice that's still being heard today. And the first children's democracy. Your Honor, if Summerhill is failing, how is it that last year 75.3% of pupils achieved GCSE at grades A to C? A figure which I think I'm correct in saying is higher than the national average. If you please, alumni of Summerhill. Actress, artist, doctor, horticulturalist, marine engineer, research chemist, professor of mathematics, nurse, charity director, dancer.
Was there not an instance where one boy attacked another boy? Is this freedom or an abrogation of responsibility on the part of the teaching staff at Summerhill?
You mentioned earlier, but Summerhill was TBW.
To be watched.
Because Summerhill was on a government hit list. Ofsted had the school in its sights for the best part of a decade, and this year, you decided to go for the jugular.
The Secretary of State has offered Mrs. Redhead an out-of-court agreement.
Mrs. Redhead can't make that decision for the school. The community has to decide whether to accept or to continue with the case.
The Secretary of State recognises that this independent school, based as it is on the writings and systems of A.S. Neill, has a right to its own philosophy. The freedom of the children to attend classroom lessons or not in accordance with Neill's philosophy is acknowledged. Yes.
This agreement would make Summerhill the most protected school in the world.
Tribunal formally annuls the notice of complaint against Summerhill School.
Historic scenes in court today as Summerhill School defeats the government.
Following this ruling, it's safe to say that liberty and learning go hand in hand at Summerhill, which seems to me entirely appropriate.